Do you guys find it distracting if I do this the whole video? Well, sometimes I can help it. I did it in the last video. I don't feel bad about it, but I'm glad that someone told me. So now I will try as much as possible not to move. If I start moving the chair, please let me know in the comments and I'll stop that. Guys, talking about money isn't my favorite thing, and I try to avoid it as much as possible. But it's important to do that sometimes. In this video, I want to show you or tell you how to set your price as a gigging musician. I'll be speaking from experience as a solo musician or one-man band. The first rule when setting your price is you gotta know what is it that you're doing. So let's say that somebody comes to you at a gig and asks you, hey, how much do you charge? Do you charge by the hour? Do you have a set fee? I get this question a lot when I'm performing, and I try not to talk about it while I'm at the gig. And I do this for several reasons. One of them is, usually I'm trying to get out of there, I'm packing up. Another reason is I don't want everyone to know. The money part of the job when you're a musician, it's something that I've never really enjoyed talking about in front of anyone. So I try not to discuss that publicly. If you're playing the guitar, you're loving it, you finish, everybody's clapping, and then somebody's like, how much do you charge? It's just not the right place. The way I do it, I usually give them my card, and sometimes I try to get their information as well. And then I'll tell them that we can discuss that at another time, like they can send me an email or give me a call, or I can call them. And so now you can comfortably talk about the details. What is it that they need? Where it is. They could be asking you to play at their house, which is like a couple blocks from where you live. That's one thing. There could be someone in the crowd who wants to know how much it will be to play at their wedding 5 states north from where you live. So that's a complete different job, a complete different price. You could live on a seasonal place like I do, where half of the year it's like really busy and the other half is like empty town. So find out if it's high season or low season, if you're playing super late hours or early in the day, if you're playing for 200 people or just for 30 people. So get as much information as you can before giving or setting your price. That was mainly for private events. Someone is asking you how much you charge, but they want to have you regularly at a bar, restaurant, anything like that. That should be a complete different price. You're gonna be there so often, they cannot afford your full price for a private event. So for example, recently I got contacted by a venue manager, and this person is asking me, how much do I charge to play there? The first thing I replied is, do you have a special event going on that night? Or are you considering on having me weekly, bi-weekly, whatever? It has happened to me before that I assume this is gonna be a regular, frequent gig, even if it's my first time there. And I give them my weekly rate instead of my full private event, one-time only rate. And when I get there, they have some event going on that I didn't know about. So always make sure you ask when it's your first time there. I learned this the hard way. It's always better to know more and be clear and avoid issues in the future. Another tip would be to ask around your friends who do the same thing, your colleagues. How much are they charging? It can be uncomfortable. I get a little uncomfortable when I get asked, but at the end of the day, I understand this is kind of necessary. Just like big corporations do their research and find out what other corporations are charging for their services, we musicians should kind of be in communication to have an idea and not undercharge or overcharge, because when you undercharge, you're hurting the rest of the musicians. And when you overcharge, you are just getting yourself out of the market. Always know what is it that you're worth when it comes to what is it that you offer, what is it that you offer more than others. Now here's a fun fact. When I first started playing gigs in Florida in the US, they offered me like $150, right? Just to let you know that this is like 14 years ago. Believe it or not, I still meet people, musicians, and I ask them, so how much are they giving you? Which, like I said, is very uncomfortable to ask, but sometimes you gotta know who you're asking, right? They gotta know that you also do the same thing before you ask. Anyways, there's musicians who are still charging $150, even though things have gone up in price by a lot. today from 14 years ago. This is kind of a weakness we musicians have. It's kind of hard to up our prices, to go to the venue owner and say, hey, can you give me a raise? It's really hard to do because we love doing this. But it's very necessary to do and continue to ask for what is fair and continue to ask for a little bit of a raise from time to time because, it's a livelihood. It's a real job, believe it or not, playing music for a living. That's how you set your price. I hope you guys learned something today. I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. That is important. Arrivederci.